Well, March is Kidney Awareness Month, and we're shedding some light on the important functions of the kidneys and why you need to protect them. Did you know the kidneys filter around 180 liters of blood every day? Or that it controls the production of red blood cells and releases hormones to regulate your blood pressure? Well, kidneys produce urine that aids in the removal of waste from your body, but kidney disease is growing and globally impacts about 850 million people in some type of way. And in the Bahamas, kidney disease is being described as the silent epidemic, as it's now affecting hundreds of Bahamians, both young and old. Joining us on What's Trending today is kidney specialist Dr. Levard Roberts, who is working to not only save kidneys, but educate as many people as possible about protecting them. He serves as the executive director of the Bahamas Kidney Association. And we're chatting with him the day before World Kidney Day, which is actually celebrated on the second Thursday in March. Welcome to What's Trending, Dr. Roberts.
Thank you for having me.
Now, tell us, Levard, what are some of the early signs of kidney disease and how can we detect them before it becomes serious?
So, unfortunately, like a lot of medical conditions, kidney disease typically is silent, asymptomatic. When we see signs and symptoms of kidney disease, it's usually a bit in the later stages. Some of the symptoms include swelling of the ankles or feet, difficulty breathing, nausea or vomiting, a change in taste of the mouth, typically what we call a metallic taste, and loss of appetite, loss of energy, fatigue, and sleeping all day. These are some symptoms of more extended kidney disease. But, you know, it can be very far in the disease, typically when the kidney is under 20% that these symptoms present.
So that's 20% of its working capacity?
Correct, correct.
Wow, wow. So what are some of the lifestyle changes then that people need to make or employ to improve their kidney function?
So I think prevention is key. You know, even if you have no medical conditions, you should be screened appropriately. Any person over the age of 18 should be having their annual done once a year. And part of that annual examination is kidney screening, which would include a blood and a urine test. In the blood test, we check for something called creatinine. So the creatinine, it actually allows us to estimate our kidney function, and with the estimation, that typically says what stage or what predisposing factors you have for kidney disease. In the urine, we would see protein or blood, which is a sign of microscopic damage. If any of these signs or symptoms are present, then you should be able to meet with your physician or kidney specialist to find out how do we delay the progression. For those who don't have any medical conditions and those who have specific medical conditions, you should know the lifestyle changes that prevent or delay kidney progression. For example, diet is a key thing here in our Bahamas. Staying away from salt, you know, a diet with low salt is key. You know, anytime we eat out, that's something that's high in salt, high in sodium. So we should learn how to season our food without salt. You know, the fresh herbs, garlic, lemon, those kind of things would allow us to give some taste to the food. At the same time, we want to be very active. So we talk about exercising about approximately 30 minutes a day, at least 5 days out of the week. That's the bare minimum. That allows us to delay or decrease the chances of diabetes, hypertension, which are two leading causes of kidney disease.
And that's two areas that we are very well known for here in the country.
Correct, correct. And diabetes is on the rise.
We know that too. And so does dehydration affect kidney function, and how much water should people be actually drinking daily? Because, you know, there's the discussion that some people will say, well, you're drinking too much water, so it's your kidneys are waterlogged. And then some people are saying, well, you're not drinking enough. How much should we actually be drinking? And also, should we be drinking more fruit or juiced type waters? You know, people into the whole health bit of juicing more of their fruits and vegetables. Is that something we need to do too, or just focus on just drinking more water?
So you actually hit the nail on the head, because it should be individualized.
Okay.
So what one person may need to drink is different from what another person may need to drink. The difference also determines what time of year it is. You know, are you working out in the sun, working more, then you require more water intake. Water is truly the best liquid for us to drink, okay? Those fruit juices and drinks are high in sugar, so that actually increases our risk of diabetes and high sugar content. And definitely want to stay away from the sodas. But the more water we drink, the better. You want an idea to drink to taste. So if you're thirsty or you're doing exercise or working in your yard, you want to increase that water intake. But you don't want to do so much, I have to drink 10 liters a day, because correct, the body does become waterlogged and it becomes difficult, especially if you don't have a balanced diet.
So water and the diet must be balanced together.
Correct.
For it to make sense.
Correct, correct.
Right, that's some good information so far. So how important is the kidney function to our overall health, and what should one do if they have a history of history with their families focused on kidney disease and things of that nature?
Yes, so, when we think about kidneys, we just think about producing urine. The kidneys have about 10 different jobs, okay? One of it is to filter the blood, to remove the waste, the toxins that we ingest on a daily basis, and to eliminate fluid in excess and to conserve when we need to conserve. But also the kidney helps to promote and stabilize our blood counts, our acid levels, our bone health. It helps to maintain our blood pressure as well as our blood sugar. So the kidneys are well versed in assisting the other organs and helping them do their job. Now, for those who are at high risk, particularly if you're diagnosed with diabetes, hypertension, or if you have a family history of polycystic kidney disease, these persons should be screened regularly. For example, a diabetic at minimum should have a urine checked at least 3 to 4 times a year to make sure no protein is in the urine or it's not getting worse. For those who have a first-degree relative with polycystic kidney disease, they should get an ultrasound where we look to make sure that they themselves do not have polycystic kidney disease, whereas a genetic component to your kidney disease, no matter how great a lifestyle you may live.
Wow. So also, I know persons talk about over-the-counter medications. Can they also impact kidney health? And what should we be cautious of?
Yes, yes. So the first thing I want to say, everything should be done in moderation, whatever you do. All of the over-the-counter medications we have have risk to it, and if you have kidney disease, your risk is even higher. The ones I want to particularly highlight is your NSAIDs, what we'd call them. That's your ibuprofen, your Aleve, Motrin, Goody powder. All of those medications we typically use to treat headache, they increase the risk of kidney disease, especially when taken at high doses and for prolonged periods of time. Other medications like your antacids, like your Nexium and your proton pump inhibitors that we use, they can actually also affect the kidneys. And at the same time, if we go to our untraditional counter, bush medications, unregulated medications, they also can affect the kidneys in certain ways. For example, licorice root, that can affect the kidneys directly, and, vitamin C in excess can actually cause kidney stones. So you have to find out what is your risk factors, and it has to be individualized, because what works for your neighbor may not necessarily be safe or work for you.
Well, Levard, that's definitely some great information there. And I want to tell people, make sure to wear green, because green is the color for Kidney Awareness Month. And again, thank you for joining us, and continue to spread the good work to save our kidneys.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Pleasure.
So on the next side of the break, we will be discussing issues that plague women in this country. Stay with us.